Welcome, rivals. So I have absolutely zero experience in hero shooters. I know, not the best start for a guide video, but let me cook. Because in the last month, I have watched more than 200 guides on the game, and I started playing it together with my girlfriend that also has zero experience, didn't even play mouse and keyboard before. And I was scanning all the tips that you get in those guides to actually help my girlfriend reaching gold all the way from bronze. And even though she has no prior experience, those tips right here helped her to reach it at ease. So the first thing that everyone needs to understand is the hitbox of the enemies. Because we are seeing that our character is slightly off to the left, and then our crosshair, if we are placing it directly on the character, of course we are dealing damage. But since we are having that light left offset, if we are going like slightly left to the character, we will miss him. But if we are going slightly right to the character, we will still hit it. So that means you always want to aim slightly right to the head to have the best chances of headshots. The game has two different kinds of attacks. One is a hit scan. That means as soon as your crosshair is over an enemy and you're shooting, you will deal damage. And the other one would be shot leading, when you see moving characters like the floating bot up there. If I would go right on it, my shots would miss. But if I'm aiming slightly in front of the character, I am leading the shots in the direction the character is moving, you will be hitting. And getting that and practicing that is essential, because the people will never stand still in the fights, you are always moving. So by now you've probably realized that often after a game, you will get matched with one or two people out of the 12 that you just played with. And the game has a mechanic to actually avoid feeders. So you're able to have a total of 3 avoid teammates. And if you go right click onto one of those characters and you say avoid as teammate, he will not be coming in your games. And that means no matter if it's in your team or the enemy team, you will always want to use that function to avoid the 3 worst performing players in your last match. Next up, it is crucial that you understand all heroes. And there's nothing better to understand them and to actually play them at least once. I know this sounds like a big task, but you can use the loading time in Champ Select and the loading time previously to the games to read all the skills of the heroes so it goes faster for you. And you can do that by pressing F1. And you should always use the spare time just to build up your knowledge about the heroes. Once you really understand all the heroes, and more specifically all their attacks, it will be so much easier for you to counter them. It's really important that you have your sounds active, because every ultimate will be called by a sentence. Here I have a list of all of them. I will also link that, and you should start remembering the sentences and matching the sentences to the people. So for example, when you have Moon Knight, when he is saying the moon haunts you, his ultimate is casting, and usually you do not want to react on actually seeing the ultimate, you want to react on the sound. So if I'm playing Punisher, the Moon Knight is doing an ultimate, I will smoke bomb out of it and before the moon even hits, and I will take no damage. One bonus tip, with the tool exit lag, you can actually reduce your ping and have better performance, and it's really easy to use. Just search for the game, click it, press apply route, and it will automatically find the best servers for you, making sure that you have the most stable connection. And for me personally, it is decreasing my ping by 15 from 45 to around 30. So for me, it's a really solid investment. And currently they actually have a sale going on where you can get a 1-year subscription for 37% off. Link is in the description. Ultimate management is extremely important in this game. And the best way to understand how good you are utilizing your ultimates is by going to history and then just re-watching one of your games. So this will help you to evaluate how good your ultimate usage really was. So you can see how many people are you getting. Are you able to prevent the card from being taken? If you're using an ultimate and you're neither able to turn your card again, or like to continue moving, or to capture, then you have used it at the wrong timing. If you want to climb and rank it, don't try to beat the meta. Play according to the meta. And the website Rivals Matter, I will also link it down below, is perfect to see current win rates on champions, and you should pick your mains accordingly. And it's also important that you're not tunnel visioning one role. You need to be able to play all 3 roles, so you should try to learn 1 damage dealer, 1 tank, and 1 support. And prior to where you're reaching ranks where a hero can actually get banned, it's enough to have 1 of each, maybe get like a second one so you can switch in case. But it's the best way to pick up the game is learning all 3 roles, because as a healer you need to understand how a tank is moving, especially with things like walking out of sight and then crying for a heal, stuff like this. No? So make sure to learn all 3 roles. Another important factor are actually the settings of the game. Since people always like my setting videos for video games, I will do a separate one that goes into real depth, but here just mentioning 2 things. There's lots of characters that are up in the air, like for example Iron Man, now the new Human Torch, and it is good to have a higher sensitivity for the vertical compared to the horizontal. So you want to have a difference in it. This will make it feel more smooth. Also, the default crosshair is horrible. It will already improve your aiming skills if you just import a proper crosshair. And in the description you will find my crosshair code so you can implement it. I have made sure that it has the highest contrast so it is visible properly on all champions and all maps. It is highly important that you're always playing around cover, but not just any cover. So let's say here, for example, where it says 20 meters, this is where the enemies are, and you want to fight them. If you would stay here in the open, you would obviously die right away. And if you're going into cover, for example, on that side, because we've already talked about that our character is slightly centered to the left, you will have a longer pathway to actually go into the open before you can shoot on the enemies, compared to having a cover on your left side where you can just peek, shoot, peek, shoot, peek, shoot. If you take too much damage, you can go and cover and get healed back up before you can peek again. So that means on all the maps, you should try to start learning positions where you have a left side cover. Those are way stronger than right side covers. And now let's talk about what is losing you the most games in bronze and silver, and that is staggering. That means people not grouping as a team keep running in solo into the enemies over and over and over. So first, you should not do that mistake. And trust me, if you just call it out in the chat nicely, hey guys, can you please don't go in solo, let's group up as a team and wipe them, it will help and it will increase your win rate. Just making the other people aware that they're currently running in solo, and as a team you can actually beat them. It's important to always get enough heal, and there's 2 things that you can do. One thing is going into the settings, going to keyboard communication, and then you put the need healing on a key that's easy accessible for you. Because sometimes, especially when a healer is up front, he will not notice that you are being low, and it's your duty to actually tell them that you are low and you need heal and they can go around. And if you press once, it's really easy for the healer to be able to heal you and actually locate you faster. So you have to support the healers and not just cry that you're not getting enough heal. And the second one is you will see those health packs are everywhere on all the maps. And you should try to memorize all the locations. So whenever you are low and you will not be able to get any heal, or if you're off angling, then you can go and grab those health packs. If you think it would be helpful to have some 2D maps that basically show all the health pack locations, just let me know in the comments and I will create one for you. Yeah, thanks for tuning in and see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.